It was not a pretty win, but boy, oh boy, was it a win. The Boston Celtics are up 3-0 against the Indiana Pacers. The first time they have had a lead like this in the postseason. They won 114-111. Do not be surprised by this score. It came down to 38 seconds left. Jrue Holiday, who was questionable moments up until a game-time decision with a non-COVID-like illness, showed out. 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. He goes up for a layup to tie the ball game. It's an and one. He makes the free throw, goes up by one. And after that, well, the rest is history. I'm telling you what, man, this was a huge, huge game for the Boston Celtics. They defied adversity. They came together as a team. They didn't lose their head when their calls were not getting turned their way against the referees. This was a huge team win, and this should have a lot of confidence for the Boston Celtics moving forward. We're going to be breaking down our live reactions to Game 3, and we also have injury updates on Tyrese Haliburton, Kristaps Porzingis, and Luke Kornet in the back half of the show. You guys are going to want to stick around. First things first, we did hit 30K during Game 1. Thank you, Game 3. Thank you so much for all the support you guys have given us here on this show, but we're not done yet. We are so close to 31,000 subscribers now. Go on ahead and hit that sub button for me, live for every single Boston Celtics game this postseason, and let's go on ahead and get into it. Jayson Tatum, man, he was the needle for the Boston Celtics here. He did everything that he was supposed to do. Look at that, 50%, he's back, baby. He's back from downtown, 53% from the field, and he nearly had a triple-double. There is nothing an NBA national media outlet that can tell me about Jayson Tatum that I will believe. He is him.
Like you said, Allie, what are they going to say now?
What can you say?
36, 10, and 8 on 50% shooting from both the field and from three. When the Celtics ran their offense through Jayson Tatum tonight, and when he was in attack mode, he was able to take over and keep the lead from extending past the point of no return. I loved what I saw from Jayson Tatum rebounding the basketball tonight. Yeah, it's only 10, but he was going up there in crowded scenarios when Miles Turner was grabbing a ton of rebounds, when even T.J. McConnell was grabbing a ton of rebounds, and Jayson Tatum was gaining possessions for this basketball team, doing everything in his power to will the Celtics to a win. And you can't talk about this Celtics win without the pass that Jayson Tatum made to Al Horford.
I can't. Oh my
in
God.
The corner. I mean,
I'm
gonna
go to sleep tonight thinking about that pass. Here's a stat that nobody's gonna talk about tomorrow in the media. 0 turnovers.
No turnovers.
0 turnovers for Jayson Tatum. With that stat line, I promise you they will not talk about 0 turnovers, so I want to make sure you guys know that. Can we talk about the 38-year-old Dominican father of 5? That is Smitty's coin, and it's perfect. This guy, does he look 38 years old to you?
No. He hasn't looked different since he originally signed with the Celtics the first time back in 2016.
Physically, no, he actually doesn't look any different. But actually, the fact that he had a career high made threes tonight, 7 for 12. If you want to wonder, there are several small factors from each person of why the Celtics came together and won this ball game, and Al Horford's was his 3-ball. Yep. He was dominant. He stepped up. No KP, no Luke Kornet, no problem. Al Horford's got it going on. 23-5 and 58%.
You can't say enough good things about Al Horford. Yes, do we want him to take 12 threes a game? Probably not. But when he's hitting 7 of them, you gotta love what you get. And when you're wide open, that's the motto with Boston, right? When you're open, shoot it. And Al Horford gives the Celtics the opportunity to really stretch the floor at all 5 positions. He did it again tonight. He did it efficiently. Tatum with a beautiful feed. Defense collapsed on him.
Yep.
Behind the back pass to Al Horford, wide open in the corner, and he propels the Celtics with the lead. But then, at the end of the game, who sealed the win for Boston?
Game ball.
Was flu game Jrue Holiday.
Game ball. He was listed questionable all day long, non-COVID-like illness. And personally, I was kind of like, you know what? That's all right. I would probably rather just sit him because Haliburton's out. So maybe if you really do need a Holiday, if he's not down that bad, and thank God he came to play. Because let me tell you, this man, 38 seconds left, he goes up for the layup, ties the ball game. He makes the and one, which gives it a 1-point lead, 3-point play. And then he steals the ball from Nembhard with 1.7 seconds left. No, Steals the
couple
ball.
seconds
left.
Gets fouled.
Steals basketball, gets fouled, makes his 2 free throws. I mean, crunch time. He was doing everything to shut down Gainbridge Field House. If I have a game ball, it's going to flu game Jrue Holiday. And you know what? Maybe even my firstborn at this point. He quite literally saved the day in the fourth quarter. In the last minute alone, it's Holiday's game.
Wasn't incredibly efficient from either area, inside or out, but
come on,
he made the
Smitty.
But no. There was a butt. There was a butt coming. He made the plays when it mattered.
All right.
And I can't say enough good things about Jrue Holiday. This entire postseason run, the Celtics would not be in the position they are, up 3-0 without him. He has been phenomenal, and I've loved it. And got to give your flowers to Jaylen Brown as well. Another efficient day from the field, and then maybe not from outside, but it got the job done. Not really much to say about JB other than he's doing the things that he's doing, defending at a high level, taking it to the basket, and finishing with a high efficiency. Good game all around from Jaylen Brown. Derek White. Something about Derek White.
It's not his best game. I don't want to harp on it too much because we know Derek White can be wishy-washy.
I agree.
And he did not come to play versus Cleveland. He did come to play so far against the Pacers, and this wasn't his game. So it should have been. It should have been.
One positive about Derek White, though, tonight. 4 blocks.
Oh,
It might have even been 5, but I know it's at least 4. That is the most in a Celtics postseason game by a guard.
4 blocks.
4 blocks. So he's...
And 0 turnovers.
So, yeah, Derek White, maybe he wasn't playing phenomenal on-ball defense throughout the entire game. Maybe
7
he
assists.
was. 7 assists. Finding guys open.
I'll take it.
There are positives to be had with Derek White's game tonight. He was looking abysmal through the first about 2.5, 3 quarters defensively. But like most of the Celtics in the lineup tonight, he made it count late.
The only thing I'm going to say about the Pacers here is that Nembhard and McConnell had their way with the Boston Celtics.
You got to show what
the Celtics tend to do this. It feels like they just devote their entire defense to one player, and that player being Tyrese Haliburton. They did this with the Cleveland Cavaliers, that one player being Donovan Mitchell. And then when those players go down, Smitty, myself, every other Boston fan is thinking, oh my God, easy game, because you're not playing Haliburton. It's not. They make it 10 times harder on themselves. They allow Nembhard to get 32 points. They let that momentum go all the way into the fourth quarter. So I don't want to see that ever again. I don't really have any comments to it. You know what you need to do. You allowed these guys to shoot lethal from in the paint, and you've got to work better on it. That's all you can do.
The 2 Pacer guards lead this team in scoring, and they were kind of getting whatever they wanted all night. There were times when you let T.J. McConnell walk to his spot in the lane for that short jumper, and it was butter. Then, as the game progresses, we talked about this when the Celtics got lit up by Marcus Morris in that one game. They let these guys get hot, and as the game progresses, they're just naturally going to hit more difficult shots. Yeah, you're mad that they hit them, but you got to defend them earlier in the game. You got to make them uncomfortable so they're not in that rhythm late. And the Celtics ended up making it count when they needed it to, but you probably could have won this game pretty handily. Before that all came into play.
You didn't really need all that, man. Obviously, the referees weren't on the Celtics side tonight, but that was not their fault. Celtics had a lot of miscues, and they had a lot of bad plays, and it just wasn't the best start to the season, but best start to the game. But here's what the Celtics do well. They do come back well, and they do play the fourth quarter well. So
yeah, they lost in a lot of categories tonight. I mean, outside of three-point shooting, which, again, three-point variance, numbers matter, people. Indiana beat you in every facet of this game, and you ended up just out-efforting them in the closing moments. But at the end of the day, you have to try to limit that early so you don't put yourself in these positions late. Because up 3-0, it's all but confirmed the Celtics will be in the finals. You're going to play a much better opponent when that's all said and done. So you got to try to limit the early rhythm so you don't have to worry about it late.
With that being said, we do have pivotal moves happening here ahead of Game 4 we want to talk about, but we do have one question. We don't like to really throw out the SWEEP word a lot here in the series, but this is a real possibility now because they are up 3-0. So just hypothetically speaking, can the Celtics sweep the Pacers? Do you guys think they can come back in Gainbridge Field House on Monday night and just end the series and have a really much-needed break ahead of the NBA Finals? Comment why or why not. Next, we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers injury news. You guys are going to want to stick around for that. But first things first, let me tell you about PrizePicks, our #1 daily fantasy sports app in America, and a sponsor here on Celtics Today. I played it tonight. I'm going to play it tomorrow. And guess what? I'm probably playing it Mondays. Here's why you guys should too. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. And it's super easy. All you guys have to do is pick more or less. That is it on a player's projected stats. Here are mine tonight. If you're wondering why I combined WNBA and NBA, they actually have a great promotion. That if you make a PrizePicks today, tomorrow, and Monday with 3 minimum players and 2 minimum different sports, you're going to get a free entry. So I got WNBA and NBA in my PrizePicks. And if you guys always need a little help, go to the promos tab in PrizePicks, and you guys can find different celebrities who play along, like Meek Mill, Stephen A. Smith. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. I promise it's that easy to watch yourself win some real money in real time. All right, we got to talk about some not-so-fun news, and that's the injury reports here heading into Game 4. First, Tyrese Haliburton, who did not play in Game 3. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN tweeted this out ahead of Game 3. He said Haliburton is out and will be reassessed ahead of Game 4 on Monday. But his availability for that game also remains in serious question. Sources tell ESPN. Pacers will err on the side of caution with their franchise star. Back in January, Tyrese Haliburton did the splits under the basket. He did something to his hamstring that kept him out for 10 games. He re-aggravated it in Game 2, and that's why he is out for Game 3. Gary Washburn said that Tyrese Haliburton is out tonight and his status for Game 4 is undetermined, according to Rick Carlisle. Carlisle said Haliburton is improving, though, so they are seeing some signs that Haliburton may or may not play in a Game 4, and honestly, already being down 3-0, I don't know if it's worth injuring your star player even more for one ball game. Woj did go on NBA Countdown ahead of the Game 3 and said, we may have seen the last of Haliburton this series. That is what Adrian Wojnarowski told Malika Andrews, and that is very true considering they're not sure if he's going to play Game 4. And if the Celtics do end up sweeping the Pacers, that could be the end of Tyrese Haliburton and the Pacers season. But we also do have an update here from Joe Mazzulla about Luke Kornet, who was out with a wrist injury that he suffered in Game 2 here for Game 3, and Kristaps Porzingis, because KP was originally reported to be out Game 1 and Game 2, and Woj said there is optimism he could return from Game 4. Well, Mazzulla, a man of many words, was asked, how is Luke Kornet and Porzingis? And he said, I have no idea. So, there you have it. Maybe KP will play tomorrow in Game 4. Maybe we're not sure if he honestly even should play in Game 4, because you got to think, if they do have the opportunity to sweep the Indiana Pacers, it's kind of the same question here with Tyrese Haliburton. Is it worth playing Kristaps Porzingis for one game if they do end up winning tomorrow? It could be pros and cons. Cons, you can re-injure him if he's not ready. Pro, you can have him to have a little bit of a practice ahead of the NBA Finals if they do make it. But I want to ask you guys this question here, because obviously it's going to come up to KP's rehab and Joe Mazzulla. But I am intrigued. Do you guys think KP should play in Game 4? If there was optimism he could come back for Game 4, we'll keep you guys updated on the latest reports that come out on Kristaps Porzingis. But type Y for yes, type in for no if you think KP should play in Game 4 and possibly the game-winning game into the series. I don't know where I was going with that. You know what I mean. Sweep. All right, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me if you guys haven't already. We're going to be live for every single Boston Celtics basketball game. And we will have post-game reactions and videos updating you guys on Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Kornet, and Tyrese Haliburton. All you guys have to do to be a part of it is subscribe.